In this video, we're going to talk about seeding a small patch of lawn that needs to be repaired. So a small lawn repair, it's really easy and you can make it as simple or complex as you want, really. So the first thing that you're going to want to do is prep the site. If you're going to be seeding an area, that means that it's lost some lawn. So you want to make sure that what is growing there is stuff that you want. Make sure you take out everything that you don't want growing there, whether it's weeds or weed grasses like POA or something else like foxtail or something like that. And then you also want to rake away any debris or dead grasses that might prevent the seed from coming into contact with the soil itself. The next thing you want to do is agitate the surface a little bit or cultivate the surface a little bit. There's a number of ways you can do this. Basically, you want to disrupt the soil a little bit so that the seed can kind of embed itself instead of just sitting on the top and being subject to wind and all that kind of stuff. So you can just use a three-prong garden, cultivator if it's a small area, or you can use a metal rake for a medium area, or you can even use, like a garden motorized cultivator or something like that. For this spot, for me, the metal rake is about right. Metal rigid landscaping rake is about right. So I'm just going to use that to agitate, kind of break up the top surface a little bit, as well as level it a little bit as well. And in this case, I did add a little bit of soil, just a tiny bit, just to add a little bit of volume. And then once you do that, your soil is basically ready to receive the seed. So sprinkle it on. Of course, there's always a question of how much you want to put on here. I'll show an image of kind of what density you want to be going for. The idea is you expect about maybe 70 to 80% of your seed to come up. There's always going to be some losses, or some just doesn't germinate or sprout or survive. But you also don't want too much seed, because if you put too much out, then the seedlings that do pop up, they'll compete against each other, and you'll have lots of wheatgrass instead of a smaller amount of strong grass. So right about here is about good. You could do less, you could do a little bit more. You don't want like it to be a complete, just a floor of seed. That would be too much. And then after that, you want to, again, gently agitate the surface with like a very light rake, just to kind of cover the seeds with a tiny bit of soil, make sure they're all in contact. And you can also compress the soil. If you have a roller, that's fine. If you have anything that you can like drive or push that has a really fat wheel, if you have a ride-on mower, ride over that stuff. If you have an ATV, those knobby wheels that'll push the seed down in, great. You can use your feet, that would be fine too. And that will just keep the seed like really in close contact and prevent it also from traveling away. And then lastly, you want to water it. You don't want this to be a soup. You just want it to be like thoroughly wet, and you want to keep that soil and the seed moist for about a week, or at least until you see it sprout. And then even then you still want to keep it moist. But the seed, if it dries out, it may not germinate. Of course, if it's too wet, then it might mold or something like that. So you can get hit both ways. But basically, if you don't want to do heavy waterings like you do with your lawn, you just want to make sure that it's moist, that the seed has water, and then it will do the rest. Seeds can take anywhere from 5 days to 2, sometimes 3 weeks to germinate. So be patient. If it's been a few weeks and nothing is coming up, give it another attempt. But that's the thing with grass. Like, you can always try again if it doesn't work. So anyway, happy spring, and hopefully this is helpful. And get out there and try stuff.